What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Just a Rival Podcast. I'm Aaron, the Texan fan. That's my boy DJ AB Cool, the Colts fan. We are back. We're on the first week, finally, of NFL football, and I'm ready for tomorrow to happen, Thursday Night Football. Even if it is the Dallas Cowboys, I still want to watch some football because it is exciting. We're back. I'm ready to put some prize pick money on. I'm ready to do everything. I got fantasy going on. We got everything going on. We're excited, but we're gonna give back to y'all by bringing y'all so much content with what we're doing. Like right now, we're gonna go after these week one picks. We're gonna go after our review of the games coming up for ourselves from Texans and Colts fan, and afterwards we're gonna go over our season predictions. I know I did a season prediction earlier in the summer, but that's before cuts happen, before training camp happened. So we're gonna go into it knowing who we have now. So my boy DJ, how's everything going with y'all though?
It's going good. Right now, just, enjoying the last moments before NFL season starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting. I mean, you got the kickoff opener with the Cowboys and the Eagles, a game that, it's interesting to say the
Yeah.
least. But I mean, you got to watch it, right? It's going to be the kickoff. It's going to be pretty fun to watch.
It's a great rivalry
Um,
game. From speaking for
a
just a
great,
rival, that's a great rivalry game tomorrow.
yeah. Yeah, I would switch one of those two words, but yeah, I mean it'll be a good game for yeah, for the most part. But definitely gonna see and look to enjoy that.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're gonna go over the week one game, the week one matchup for both teams here. So Aaron, would you like to start it off? Who the Texans are facing in week one?
But the Texans were facing the LA Rams. We have so much upside as Texan fans. Like we're still, kind of like keeping our heads a little like low but high because we want to see how this offense does, how our offensive line does. Because the Rams have a great defense with Jared Verse. They have just their secondary is kind of the secondary where they're putting some stuff together, but I'm sure the Rams defense will still play their heart out as they usually do. With players as I said before, like Jared Verse, winning Defensive Player of the Year. But with us playing the Rams, there's been so much news from Matthew Stafford dealing with his back injury. He didn't practice all offseason, even in training camp. And out of nowhere they said he's going to start week one. So it's kind of like I like Matthew Stafford. I love Matthew Stafford since his Detroit days. I don't want to hurt him more than he's already hurting as it is because our defensive line is looking
Yeah,
great from Will Anderson to Daniil Hunter to Sheldon Rankins, Mario Edwards with our linebacker core as well. And then on the backside of our defense, they already nicknamed themselves the kill zone. So I'm all like, I don't want Matthew Stafford to get killed, but it's one of these games where I honestly feel if Texans offense doesn't come out as strong as we're hoping, it's gonna be a straight defensive game, which I don't mind because those are the week one games you love to see, just straight defensive fighting for who's gonna win at the end of the game. But with our game, of course, I'm a predict and go with my Texans to win the game, and it's in LA, so it's gonna be a great game. Nick Caley, our OC, was just previously their tight end coach, so it's kind of like a coming back home type game for him too. So this will be a great game. D'Amico Ryans as well. D'Amico Ryans was the defense coordinator for the 49ers. 49ers and Rams for these past years, they had so many great rivalry games. So this is kind of like everybody coming back to LA to face McVay, and it's gonna be a great game from coaches to coach, players to players. It's gonna be a great competition. But like I said, I got the Texans winning. If I put a score, I'd say 20 to
yeah.
14. 20 to 14.
Ooh,
I,
20 to 14.
I think it'll come down to either some field goals won, clutch field goals won, or just a late touchdown to win the game. But overall, yeah, I got Houston taking over the LA Rams. From your perspective, though, as a Colts fan, how do you feel about that Houston and LA game?
I mean, it's gonna be a good game, right? The Rams, I think a lot of fans, even the media, tend to underestimate the Rams, and because they're the
Yeah.
Rams, but they made the divisional round. I mean, don't forget this was a team that was really close to beating the Philadelphia Eagles in
Mhm.
February, right? So, or in January, excuse me.
Yeah.
But it's a really great team, a solid roster. You got really just the secondary has been building up. You got that front with Jared Verse, like you mentioned. I mean, the Rams
Mhm.
are a solid team. Again, the question at hand is really just Matthew Stafford, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to be there? Is he going to be present? And I worry about that back injury.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback going in with the back injury against a Texans defense that is known to be physical, is known to get to the quarterback really fast, right? Texans defense, even coming from a Colts fan, they're really good, right? What
Yeah.
DeMeco Ryans has done with that defense is really good. The secondary's sharp, right? So Matthew Stafford, I mean, hopefully he can play, right? But there is a chance, right, that he doesn't. From what I've seen, I mean, he's been limited in participation. He hasn't been able to practice as much, especially in training camp, which is huge. But obviously, he's a veteran. He's had plenty of experience, but he's missed a lot of time, which is really worrisome for Rams fans, I imagine. But just because of that, just because of the injury that Stafford has, I feel like that could linger on. But if he does get to play, Stafford has played through injuries before and made magic, right? He's gotten touchdowns. He's a clutch guy. He did it in Detroit a lot. So, I mean,
Oh
this
yeah.
Stafford's a really good quarterback. A ton of respect for Matthew Stafford. But I will say that when I look at the Texans matching up against the Rams, I have the Texans winning, right? And I think it'll be, since it's week one, I think it'll be more on the lower scoring end.
Yeah.
But I do see this being. Did you give him 20? You said 20-14?
Yeah. 2014.
I'm going to say 21-13.
Oh, okay. Okay. Going up a point.
Kind of around the
Regardless.
same. Yeah. I'm going to say that just because, or 13. I'm going to keep it
Yeah.
around there. I was going to say 21-10, but I
Yeah.
will think that they'll get more points. I just think that both teams will definitely start off really slow. I don't think it will be a high scoring game. I
Yeah.
think both defenses have shown that they can play at a high level, so it's going to be definitely a good game. But yeah, I do have the Texans winning as well.
Yeah, and I definitely think that from the Texans side, if they did start off slow, it'd be because of the new chemistry, the new playbook, just everybody kind of correlating with each other because we got so many new guys from Nick Chubb to our rookies at wide receiver, and then our offensive line. Like I said, we're pretty confident with how we're going to look with the offensive line, but we shall see. But when it comes to the Rams, like we talked about with Matthew Stafford, that's going to be pure rust if he comes out. Like there might be that rust of not playing and then the chemistry not binding well because he hasn't played with his first team offense and who knows how long. He hasn't trained with them for who knows how long. So I definitely feel like if both teams start slow, then it's going to be like, well, I saw that coming, that type of situation. But overall, in the end of the game, I feel it's going to be a straight whose defense is going to hold whose offense at the end of the game by the fourth quarter. Like, honestly, I feel like by the fourth quarter, we're going to be tied. I honestly feel that. But overall, like I said, I got the Texas 20-14. You said 21-13. So, yeah, overall, we got the first game. Both of us, Texas winning. But, as we move on to that game, we got your Colts versus Dolphins. How do you want to go off of that?
Oh, now the Colts going up against the Miami Dolphins. Good thing is we're hosting them, man.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're in Miami, I think Colts would be cooked.
Yeah.
Just because the weather in Miami is just, especially during September, it's still hot, it's humid, and it's ugly, nasty, and I don't think the Colts should be in it. But now, thank gosh, they're in Indianapolis, because that's just going to help, the Colts a little more, right? Obviously, we have a dome, so nothing weather-wise that it could affect Miami.
Yeah.
But the Colts, I do think, a lot of the media is saying, and from what I've seen, throughout like predictions from PFF, like looking through Miami Dolphins and the Colts, this matchup in particular, a lot of media is leaning towards Miami, which makes sense. But I do think that the Colts, they do have the slight edge in this game. For one, because of the secondary.
Yeah.
The Dolphins secondary has a lot of young guys, has a lot of guys that, could be just, they weren't graded really well last year, according to PFF,
especially
around
now
the
getting rid
50s
of
and
Ramsey.
60s margin. Yeah, and, Jalen Ramsey isn't there anymore. And, they did get Minka Fitzpatrick, right? They do have a good safety in him. And, it's just a secondary that is much more, I would say just not as good compared to, on paper, the Colts secondary. Because the Colts secondary, on the other hand, when you look at the weapons, the corners they added, Charvarius Ward, Xavier Howard, who ex-Dolphin, used to be a Dolphin, and then You got a McKee Blackman, right, from Minnesota. At safety, you got Cam Bynum. You still have Nick Cross. So again, the Colts have nickel, Kenny Moore, right? So
Yeah.
you really look at the Colts roster in particular, and it's just really good, right? I mean, the Colts, their secondary now looks better, way better than last year, right?
Yeah.
Look way better than last year. If you gave me the secondary from last year in this game, I would be a little more worried.
Yeah.
But I think that, this secondary should be able to handle the weapons in Tyreek Hill, in Jalen Waddle for a little bit, right? Those
Yeah.
guys are still really fast. They have Devon Achane, who's an amazing running back, who has shown he can break tackles, right?
Yeah.
That guy is a huge, he's a speedy running back that can get around the edges really fast and definitely get chunky yardage. What worries more about Miami is the offensive line. I've heard that those are more of the worries for Miami right now, and that makes a lot of sense. They don't have a lot of shiny players on that offensive line. It's like kind of in the middle of the pack, if not,
Yeah.
leaning more towards that bottom 10. They're not an amazing offensive line, but definitely, if the Colts can control the interior on the defensive side, right? Stop the run, stop Achane, get the tackles you need to get, because Dolphins, they rely on yards after the catch, right? This is a Mike McDaniel schemed offense that relies on yak. They rely on yards after the catch to get them through. So if Colts can just tackle, control the middle, control the interior, right? Stop the run, make Tua uncomfortable, I think the Colts shouldn't have a problem with winning this football game. I got the Colts winning 24-20.
Okay. And from my point of view, just from media to just from the outside looking in from Colts and Dolphins, honestly, the reason why I say the Colts have more of the advantage is, they you're in Yar Stadium. Yar Stadium is loud as hell, especially if it's week one, especially if y'all got a few problems, especially at quarterback. Like, your fans are diehard; they're not gonna just leave just like that. So, the crowd is gonna be a big focus because everybody's excited for football. Week one, everybody will be at their home stadium. But another reason why I say Colts have the advantage is Colts are in that mode of, we're gonna fight with who we got, and each player's going to fight for the position of staying as starter, for the season. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are kind of in desperation mode with their coach, with their quarterback, with their weapon. They're kind of in that we kind of wasted too much money throughout these past years getting who we got, and now it's kind of looking like crap. Like you said, their secondary, especially trading Ramsey. Yeah, they got Minka, but Minka's going to be playing deep safety at most, and their cornerbacks aren't going to have that veteran presence as they do with Ramsey. So, I feel they will have trouble covering Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, just all the weapons, especially Warren at tight end. Like that's
Tyler Warren.
No matter who is at quarterback with Daniel Jones or Anthony, that's gonna be the weapon that I feel they're gonna exploit the Dolphins defense with. And because you don't really hear much about Dolphins defense this whole offseason, so that's why their defense might honestly get torched like with yardage or yards after catch. And when it comes to Dolphins offensive line, they are having issues. They're, like I said, they're playing desperate because of Tua's health as well as his concussions. Achane, I do have him on fantasy, so I do want his points. I do want his points to be up there, but I just don't see like if Colts clamp down on Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, as I think they will, because Tyreek is already getting up there in age. Jalen Waddle has been kind of, let's say, injury prone because he has been. Achane is kind of literally their number one weapon at this point. So I feel they're going to do a lot of nothing but zone runs, try to exploit the run, but try to bootleg or anything like that. But if Colts defense can hold their own, the secondary especially, if they climb down on them, I see the Colts really shun them out. And honestly, I see Colts winning as well. And I'd say prediction would be, if Daniel Jones does do his job as I feel he will against this defense, I feel the score will be 24-13, honestly.
Nice. Really good score. Thank you for giving us 11 points edge. That's really nice to hear. I honestly think I could wish for that. I think it could definitely lean towards that. And to your key points, right? Just make Tua uncomfortable, get him on the edge, right? He's a guy that's very system based, a guy that is very timing. If something's off timing, immediately, right, it's just panic mode. And just Colts just need to get him on his edge. That's all they need to do. I think, the front seven of Miami, from what I've seen, is actually really good, right? They have Bradley Chubb,
Yeah.
Chop Robinson, Jalen Phillips, right, is still there, Jordan Brooks. So, again, they have some really good guys on that front seven. It's just really the secondary that I feel like even Dolphins fans are more worried about right now, is the secondary getting exposed. So it's more about getting enough pressure on Daniel Jones so he doesn't expose that secondary. But I really think that whatever quarterback makes the less mistakes, the fewer mistakes in this football game, is who's going to win. Tua Tagovailoa isn't, the best quarterback, right? He's kind of like, okay, he's solid. But Daniel Jones is kind of around, just that solid area too, right? So it just depends which quarterback is going to show up, which quarterback's going to make the fewer mistakes, and which one's going to, want to win the football game. So that's what it's going to depend on. But overall, the Colts hopefully should win this football game, and I think that'll go well.
Yeah, and I think between the running back competition, I think Jonathan Taylor will have a better game than Achane. That's what I believe. We'll see, but just the way the defenses are, it's one of those where I feel the Colts defense will focus on the Achane a lot, just because, like I said, they're going to be run heavy. I feel they're going to play safe with Tua, but we'll see as Sunday comes, because y'all play at 12 o'clock, we play at 3 o'clock. So I'll get to watch y'all. I'll get to watch y'all first before we play.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks because I'm in Argentina right now, so it's like, well, actually, that's pretty good. I have it at 2 p.m.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's not bad. It's like
not
that's
bad.
The time you can get food, have food ready.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, me at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna be bored.
Exactly. I mean, 2 p.m. and then freaking 5 p.m. is normally like what, 3 p.m. for you guys?
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because that's normally like the Sunday night football time for the Pacific time,
right
so
at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay. And then I think Sunday night football for me is gonna be 9 o'clock, which is like, oh my gosh, that's late.
I mean, it's gonna be it's gonna be a game you got to stay up for. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
I will.
We'll get into it.
And I totally forgot Texans and Rams are Sunday night, I believe, right?
No, Texans and Rams.
Bills, Ravens.
Ravens,
right?
Yeah, Bills and Ravens.
Yeah, that's
in Buffalo.
Ooh, that's a really good game.
I know that's why I'm like, whoever made the schedule, whoever made the week 1 schedules, hats off to them, because they made some bangers of games. Yeah.
I mean, even Minnesota at Chicago, right? I mean, you have Caleb Williams going against J.J. McCarthy Monday night. That's a really good game.
With the new head coach, with new quarterback over in Minnesota. Well, new quarterback, even though he was hurt last year, but still new.
Yeah. No, that's going to be really good to see. But now, we went into the predictions. Now let's get into season predictions. We're going to have the ceiling, the floor, right? So what do you got over there, Aaron, with your schedule right now? How do you look at your schedule?
I'm not going to lie, from our first 4 weeks of our schedule, like I said, Rams are going to be a tough game. Like, if we win against the Rams, then I'll be ecstatic. I'll be ready to be happy about my prediction that I make, which is first 4 weeks is it's 2-4, is Rams, Buccaneers. Monday Night Football is Buccaneers, and that's gonna be a good one coming back home. Jaguars and Titans. Those are the first 4 games. And honestly, I feel if we beat the Rams, Buccaneers, they will be a tough game, but I feel if we come off of a win on Sunday and head home for Monday Night Football, I feel we're gonna have so much upside. We're gonna just be ecstatic. We're gonna lights are gonna be off in Houston. We're gonna be just turned up in Houston. So honestly, I feel we will defeat the Buccaneers. Honestly, I feel in our first 4 weeks we will go 4-0 because we play the Buccaneers, Jaguars, and then Titans. And Jaguars and Titans, we were as divisional rivals. Jaguars and Titans are kind of in that who are y'all type teams. Like, what are y'all trying to be? So, of course, I see us exploiting the Jaguars offense and exploiting the Titans offense as well with our defense. So, the first 4 weeks, I'll say 4-0. After that, we have the Ravens, and I'll jot that down as a loss because we never beat the Ravens. We never do.
Oh my gosh.
Never do. So, but crazy enough, we have an early bye week, which is week 6. And so I'll see us going 5-1. After the bye week, let me see. After the bye week, we play Monday Night Football again, but against Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. And I don't know. Seattle is one of those teams where it's like you feel it might be one of those like those type of games, those games where you feel you're gonna win but you're gonna lose. But I'm gonna still jot it down as a win. So I'm gonna go 6-1. Then we go on to play the 49ers after the Seattle. And honestly, the 49ers, they're kind of
damn. That's you know what? Like if it was
Houston,
at
though.
San Francisco,
It's in Houston though. It's in Houston though.
it's in Houston. Yeah.
Oh man, that's one of those games where it's a 50-50 call because like it's
Man,
it'll be D'Amico Ryan's
I don't
facing
know.
D'Amico Ryan's facing his team, his former team, for the first time.
Yeah.
So that's one of those where it's like I don't know, 5-1, but honestly, just because it's in Houston, I'm gonna go 6-1 with that. I'm gonna say we're gonna beat the 49ers. But the next week we're gonna face the Broncos. I'm gonna jot that down as a loss. It's in Houston though, but whenever we play the Broncos in Houston, Broncos for some reason always give us the biggest fight. But yeah, we beat them a couple years ago with Russell Wilson as their quarterback, but Russell was already deteriorating. But with Bo Nix, with that offense that they're growing, with that defense they're growing, I feel they might stump us and take the W in Houston. So I got us going 2, 4, 6 and right. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-2 so far. After Broncos, we got Jaguars and then Titans after. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go clean sweep with the Jaguars and Titans. I'm not gonna lie, I will, and we'll be 8-2 because the Jaguars and Titans is just one of those where it's like if you lose to the Jaguars or Titans, it's because say from either of our teams that one of our teams is either injured as hell or we're just having a bad game, and I just don't see us having a bad game between either team. I really don't because some teams they don't know who they are at this point, and we'll see come week 1 with who the Jaguars are when they play Carolina, with Tennessee when they play. Who does Tennessee play? Let me see. I gotta check it real quick.
Tennessee, I believe
they play. Oh, Denver. Okay, yeah, okay. We'll see We'll see who Tennessee is when they play Denver.
Tennessee going against Denver week 1. Wait, at Denver?
Oh, let me check again. I honestly just blanked on that. It's in Denver.
Oh no, they're screwed. And you know what? I'm not gonna say it straight out because obviously there's Titans fans watching. I get it, but you're screwed. You're cooked. Like there's no way you're winning a Mile High week 1 against Bo Nix.
If you're
defense, if
you're confident in Tyler Lockett going up against Patrick Surtain, I don't Tyler Lockett.
I think that will be the welcome to the NFL moment for Cam Ward. I really think it will be.
And I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. With week 1, I'm gonna call it. I feel Titans are gonna be safetied. I'm not gonna lie. I feel Denver will get a safety off of Tennessee because of how we don't know what their offense is. We don't know what they're gonna run with their new head coach. I feel they're gonna step on their own feet, the Tennessee Titans, and they're gonna turn it over or, like I said, get a safety because Denver's defense. In Denver, week 1, they're gonna tear. I honestly feel they're gonna tear them up. But moving along, as we beat Tennessee, as I say, clean sweep against Jaguars and Tennessee, we're 8-2. We're coming back home Thursday Night Football to face the Bills. And last year, if you go back to look at it, Josh Allen had his worst completion percentage against us when we played him on Sunday night, and that's the way I feel it'll be again. And so I feel we will beat the Bills. We'll be 9-2 after we beat the Bills, and it'll be exciting Thursday Night Football wearing our battle red. And what I was gonna say is we always ride high when we beat a good team, and we always lose the next week. And who are we playing after the Bills? We're playing the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna write it down as a loss. I'm gonna write down a loss for our first game against each other. So
let's go.
Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, we'll be 9-3, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna write it down as back-to-back losses because after the Colts, we do face the Chiefs in Kansas City on Sunday Night Football.
Damn.
And I know that'll be one of the games where I'm gonna lose my mind and I'm gonna talk my crap, but I still feel as if the Colts, as if the Chiefs somehow pull off the W like the playoffs, and we'll go 9-4. But after that, we'll fix up what we got to fix up. We're headed back home. We face the Arizona Cardinals. I feel we will take the W, so it'll be 10-4. After Arizona, we played the Raiders, and like Arizona and the Raiders, they're kind of one of those like they're growing. They know who they are, but they're still growing. But I still feel we'll beat them. We go on to face the Raiders. I feel we'll beat the Raiders at home, 11-4.
Yeah.
Then after the Raiders, we go on to face the Chargers in LA, and that'll be a playoff rematch. And I don't know. I feel we'll lose to the Chargers. Being in LA, I feel they will bring because I feel at that point because that is the second to final week of the season. So I feel the Chargers because at this point we're 11-4. So I feel we know where we're at. I think Chargers because Chargers are in that division of a great division like the Chiefs, the Broncos. So I feel they're going to be fighting for that playoff spot, and I feel they will beat us, which will make us 11-5. And afterwards, we face y'all for week 17. No, week 18. What am I talking about? And yeah, we got the Colts, and at that point, we don't know where the Colts are gonna look at, how the Colts are gonna look. So if the Colts are in that playoff race, as we've talked about, during the summer, during all this, because we already knew who that we had each other the final game, but if it does come down to we want to have a better seeding, I feel we will get the W. But we'll see as time goes because that's just so far away. That's in January, but I'll call that a W.
Yeah.
And honestly, let me see. I'll jot it down once again. Let me see. All right, I got us going 12-5. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 12-5. That's a good record, definitely.
Yeah, and I feel we will be I won't say first seed. I'll say second seed.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's a good prediction. I think 12-5 is good. Shoot. Yeah, no, now Texans 12-5, Colts. I think what do you think the Texans like ceiling and floor is in your opinion?
Ceiling, I say, is if we're going prediction wise, I'd say 13-4. I'm not gonna lie, 13-4 would be the high ceiling. The lowest would be 10-7 again, like last year. Well, for the past 2 years, 10-7. If we go 10-7 again, it'll be disappointing, and it'll be us looking at the players, looking at the head coaches, but not on the hot seat. More of just what are we doing? Like we were supposed to be a better record, but it all just depends on the playoffs as well. So we can look at the record, but it all depends on how far we go in the playoffs. Because if we make it to the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl, we're gonna be happy. But if we lose in the divisional round again, we're not gonna be happy.
No, yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna go with the Colts. Ceiling floor. I think the ceiling will be 9-8, and I think the floor will be 6-11. I want to put the ceiling higher than 9-8, but I can't because the past 2 seasons it's been 9-8, 8-9, right? So it's been in the middle. So I think the ceiling realistically is 9-8 for the team. Could I see them break it? Potentially, right? There is potential for them to break that ceiling.
Yeah.
But until then, I think it's time to get a more realistic point of view here, and then kind of look at the things that we need to look at. But now we're gonna get into the regular season prediction. So the Colts, looking at the schedule here, week 1 we start off against Miami. I think we start off on a dub there. Week 2 we host the Denver Broncos. I think, originally I was gonna say a win, but they are the Broncos. So I think this is going to be a really tough game. However, Bo Nix did struggle a lot against our defense, and our defense is way better now this year. So I think that's going to be a really big defensive game against Denver, right? It all depends on the Daniel Jones, right? Is he going to make costly mistakes versus Denver like Richardson did? And you could see where that ended up. We ended up getting destroyed, 31-13. Or is Daniel Jones going to take care of the football and win the football game, right? I think for now I'm going to say a loss, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts actually won the game. Because for one, we're not a mile high. We're at our house. And for two, we have a way better defense than last year. So I think we'll see where that game ends up, but I think 1-1 is fair. We go to Tennessee. I think we win that game. LA, I think we lose. LA Rams always seem to have our number for some reason. It's a weird thing with the Rams. Every single time we face them, they just find ways to beat the Colts. Last time was just so heartbreaking when Puka Nacua got that touchdown in overtime. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
But to know y'all went that far with them, it's still like y'all have a good like wear and thaw with how y'all want to play against them.
Yeah, so now I think 2-2. I think we beat the Raiders week
Mm,
5. We get 3-2. Arizona Cardinals, I think we beat them. I think we go 4-2. We lose
mm,
to LA Chargers at LA, go 4-3. Week 8, we 2-0. I think we sweep the Titans. We go 5-3 here. The Steelers, we travel to Pittsburgh. It's Aaron Rodgers, but for some reason, Shane Steichen always seems to have Mike Tomlin's number. I'm
mm.
gonna go ahead and say that we win that game. Go, what would it be? 6-3, I believe. Yeah, I think that's 6-3. Yeah, 6-3. 6-3. I think week 10 we go to face the Falcons. I think we lose that game. Specifically just because the Falcons, I just think that's a really rough matchup for the Colts. When I
Yeah.
look at the Falcons roster, so I'm gonna go ahead and say 6-4. Right. So
Mm.
6-4, entering the bye week. Now, this is where I'm gonna have to do a little more explaining. Week 11 bye week. Look
Yeah.
at the second half, Aaron. That is a
I'm
really
looking
hard
at it.
stretch.
I'm looking
You
at it
have
right
the
now.
Chiefs, the Texans twice, the Jaguars twice. You have Seattle. You have San Fran. I mean, that is a hard
Yeah.
stretch of what is that, like 7 games left in
Mm,
the season. So
yeah.
it's going to be rough for the Indianapolis Colts to get through this. I think, man, like, the only way the Colts can make the playoffs this year is if they end those first 10 weeks that I just mentioned. They
Mhm.
have to end at least 7-3
Yeah.
or 6-4. I have them 6-4 right now, but that's rough, right? I think
Yeah.
you have to end at least 7-3 or 8-2 going into the bye. I have them at 6-4, but let's play it out, right? Week 12, we're
Mhm.
traveling to Kansas City after the bye. I want to be a homer and say, hey, we can beat the Chiefs just because we beat them the past 2 times,
Yeah.
right? Because somehow Patrick Mahomes, it's so weird. Mahomes has a bad day against us every time. It's like, again, those 2 times, like he just played
Yeah.
so iffy. I don't know how to describe his play, but it's so weird. I think Chiefs
Just
fans
so
always
out
find
of
it
touch
weird
with
that
him.
we beat them. Yeah, exactly. The Colts somehow find ways to beat the Chiefs, but this time around, I think I'm gonna say I want to say a loss, but because we are coming out of a bye, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it all depends on how the Colts look at this point of the year.
Hold on, let me
I'm gonna say a
see.
loss. I'm just gonna say a loss. Prove me wrong, right? Maybe the Colts end up beating the Chiefs, but I'm just gonna say a loss for now.
Well,
Six and five. I think
and honestly, with the Colts facing Chiefs, the Chiefs the week before, like it's kind of one of those like it's like teams, if they
yeah.
lose the week before, they can go into the next week and lose again because the week before they play y'all, Chiefs are playing the Broncos in Denver. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe the
Oh,
Denver gives them a good fight to where they're kind of just still worn out, and the Colts manage to beat them.
I mean, we are coming off a bye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a loss for now. I think the Colts are gonna have to prove me
Yeah.
wrong. I think Colts will prove me wrong. Let the Colts prove me wrong on this one, because I think they will. I honestly think the
Hey,
Colts will win.
I'd
But
even cheer. I'd even cheer if y'all beat them.
for the prediction, for the prediction's sake, I'll just say a loss, 6-5, and then week 13. I think we beat Houston, right?
I
I
said
think
it
we
too.
split with Houston this season. So we go 7-5. I think we will win in Jacksonville for the first time. I'm gonna predict it. I'm gonna say hot take. We beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville.
Okay.
I think it's gonna happen this year. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing it.
Do y'all sweep Jacksonville?
Praying I'm not jinxing it. I think we sweep Jacksonville this year. Because screw Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Anyways, week 15. Week 15 at Seattle. We're gonna go ahead here. So okay, that's I believe 7-5, if I'm not mistaken, or eight and
Uh,
five. I think heading into Seattle, 8-5.
sometimes I get so lost.
Um,
Like, oh,
yeah, it'll be 8-5. I think we beat Seattle. We go 9-5. Um, Actually, yeah, no, we go into Seattle. I think San Fran's a rough game. That's where I'm gonna honestly. San Fran is a really rough game. I think we'll lose that one. We'll go 9-6. I know it's Monday night, but it's just gonna be rough going against a team like them. It's at our house, but I think I'll say 9-6. We sweep Jacksonville, go 10-6, and then we lose the Texans and go 10-7. And I will put this for the matter of fact that 10-7 is my record prediction, even
yeah,
though I had the season at 9-8. I think
yeah.
my prediction is 10-7. I think we will break our ceiling this
And
year.
I could
I think
see,
the Colts.
I could see 10-7 a good
Yeah,
ceiling for y'all. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I have the ceiling at 9-8, but I'm
Mm,
gonna go ahead and predict the 10-7 just for the sake of, I think the Colts can break the ceiling this year. They can break the narrative, right? This is the year after Jim Irsay, the owner, passed away. Rest in
mm,
peace to the owner of the Colts. And I think this year matters so much more for the organization, for the fans, for the players, right? Jim Irsay was an inspiration. He was, just such a figure in Indianapolis, and I think it would mean so much if the Colts can make the playoffs this year just for him, right?
mhm,
And go 10-7 and break the ceiling. But yeah, that's gonna be my prediction.
mhm.
But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments of these predictions for the Texans and the Colts. Any
They're probably
last
gonna get
words,
on my.
Aaron, before we?
They're probably gonna jump on me about my prediction, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
No, definitely.
before we
Yeah.
end things and everything, who you got tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
Cowboys and
Cowboys
Eagles.
Eagles. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go with the Eagles here. Definitely wanted to go with the Cowboys, but I think obviously the Eagles. They're just the better team here. I think it will be a closer game than people may expect, just because it's
Mhm.
week one. I think it will be a close game, but I think Eagles will win in the end. Wouldn't be surprised if Cowboys pull it out though. I think Cowboys might turn some heads within, George Pickens involved, that offensive line getting better, right? They have
Mhm.
that new interior guy coming out of Green Bay, so they can
Yeah.
finally stop the run, hopefully. But I think I'm gonna go Eagles here. How about you, Aaron?
I've been feeling it since Monday. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I don't know what it is. I've been
No
feeling it. I've been
way!
feeling it since Monday. I don't know why. Like this week has been
They
so
have a
kind of
new
like
coach.
it's been so. I understand that, but it's been so
Yeah.
weird in my head. Like I feel like an upset's gonna happen tomorrow. I feel Eagle fans are gonna be pissed off. I feel they're gonna be upset because Dallas is gonna just pull out a random win tomorrow. Like they can be trashed the rest of the season, but I feel they're gonna somehow
Yeah.
win tomorrow. That's how I feel.
No, yeah, definitely, man. I think it's gonna be a good game. We
Mhm.
might as well predict the Friday one as well. Chiefs, Chargers in Brazil. What do you think of that one?
Oh, it's in Brazil. Oh man, I honestly forgot about that.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh,
wait a minute. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Chargers. I'm
Oh
not gonna lie.
shoot.
I'm gonna go with Chargers. I'm
Chargers?
gonna do another kind of upset. I mean, yeah, it's kind of an upset, but it's kind of like I don't know. Kansas City's on their kind of like farewell tour with Travis, with a lot of other players of theirs. So I feel Chargers young, they're hungry. You know, they're just. I feel Chargers gonna be like the Broncos. They're trying to take that division for themselves finally.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I wanna go I'm gonna go Chiefs. I've
Mhm.
seen Mahomes do great in week one games, and I think this will not fail. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of like that one meme, he doesn't miss. He just doesn't miss, right? Like, I think Mahomes does not miss in week one, and I think this will stand to it. I think it'll be on the same ground, right? Same level. I think Patrick Mahomes will win in week one. I think the Chargers will make it close, though. But I have the Chargers. I think the Chargers will split with them. So when
Mm.
they go to the next time they face. I don't know what home they'll be
Yeah.
going to, but I think the Chargers will win the second time around. I just think that week one, Mahomes always looks good in week one.
And you know what? What we can do, well, like for the fans to get involved as well, is we do kind of like our own like keeping up with our predictions, like 1-1 and all that. So we do predictions for primetime games, like Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday night, Monday night. It's kind of those things. So we can move on to Sunday night, which is
Yeah.
Baltimore and Buffalo. Who you got with that?
All right, we're gonna do the prime time. So Baltimore, Buffalo. I'm gonna say Baltimore wins this game. I think Baltimore is gonna get their revenge on Buffalo, just because I feel like they have that, that kink in their neck that
Yeah,
they just kind of want to get off their backs, and I think they're gonna win against Buffalo here.
I don't know what it is with us, but we're picking the two different teams. I'm going with Buffalo. I'm going with
Oh
Buffalo
my gosh.
because when they play in Buffalo, Baltimore for some reason gets quiet, and it's like
Yeah.
they step over their heels. Like last year, what happened? Mark Andrews could have caught the touchdown to tie it. I believe it was to tie it, but dropped it in
Yeah.
the end zone. And it's one of those where it's like in Buffalo, and that's gonna be a crazy game. Buffalo's gonna get loud. We all know that, especially against the Ravens.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
No,
close game.
definitely.
And no matter who wins, I'm not gonna be like, oh damn, I lost my prediction. I'm gonna be like, this is gonna be the best Sunday night football game I think all year. So I'm gonna go.
Banger.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel. I'm gonna go Buffalo, but and then moving to Monday night, we got Minnesota and Chicago. Who you got with that?
Minnesota, Chicago. I
Mhm.
think this game is going to be a good game as well. I like Minnesota. You got
Yeah,
JJ McCarthy coming in on the road against a Chicago team that has Ben Johnson. Everything is very new in Chicago,
yeah, yeah,
and usually anything that's very new in like anywhere
yeah.
doesn't start off great in week one. I think Minnesota, JJ McCarthy and company will get the first dub.
Hmm.
I think Minnesota will get it. I like their defense. I like
Yeah.
Flores' DC. I just like it all the way around for Minnesota. Give me the
Mhm.
Vikings beating Chicago here. And what's the spread on this game? They're favored by
Uh,
0.5,
yeah,
1.5. And they
yeah,
cover the spread. Might as well, it's not too big. I think
yeah,
Minnesota will win and cover.
yeah. For me, I'll go Minnesota as well. Even though it's in Chicago, I feel Minnesota's still gonna take advantage of their defense. Caleb Williams is still young. That offense is still, I guess, they've had training camp, they've had preseason, but I still feel they're still new. They'll show what they got in the rest of the regular season, but
Yeah.
I feel against a playoff team like Minnesota, even though JJ McCarthy's finally starting, that offense is still set from last year. They're missing Addison there because he's suspended for 3 games, but I feel their
Yeah.
offense will still stay the same as they were last year.
Yeah. And, just for the sake of it, I will mention that Jason mentioned this. JDW, the one who runs just the channel here, all praise to him, man.
Mhm.
Really good person. He said Daniel Jones comeback player of the year in the DMs. So we are about to shout out Jason and say Daniel Jones will be comeback player of the year because screw anyone who says that anyone else will be comeback player of the year.
Watch comeback
And
player.
Daniel Jones will
Watch
be
comeback player
comeback
of the
player
year
of the
beat.
year.
Hey, watch comeback player of the year beat Anthony Richardson.
I swear it's gonna be crazy. But I think Daniel Jones is gonna be the comeback player of the year. I'll agree with Jason there.
I
But
could see it.
anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be it for the podcast. Aaron, did you have any final words before we wrap up here?
No, it's just of course I always have a good time talking to you. Now we're finally done with the sad summer days of no football. We're back on tomorrow night is the first game of the NFL season. I'm excited. I got Cowboys winning, you got Eagles winning. Overall, it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have good food, we're gonna have everything. So I'm excited. So let's go. We're gonna have this first week going, and we're gonna come back next week
Yeah.
talking that talk.
No, reviewing our week one games and being
Yeah.
like, shoot, we'll see what happens.
Either
But
sad,
yep,
bummed out, or happy. We're
that'll be
gonna come back
crazy.
next week.
Oh, hopefully happy. Hopefully
Yeah,
happy.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it'll be
Happy for the
good.
both of us.
Yeah. So all right, it's gonna be really good. Colts, Texans, Just Arrival podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a great football weekend. And you have been Just Arrival.